Very good. Yeah, thank you all for joining, and this is going to be a very exciting presentation. Dr. We call him Malli, but Dr. Mallik Arjun is an internal medicine doctor in Florida, and he is a long time friend and batchmate of Dr. Raju in medical school. And he, with all his experience, he shared this health span topic with all of us during the summer. And so we thought that it'll be a good idea for him to share this with the broader group. So he will do a presentation, and then we'll have some time for Q&A. And then if you have any questions, please post it on the chat, or you can raise your hand, and then we'll handle the questions towards the end. Apologies for getting started a little bit late. With that, Malli, please go ahead.
Thank you, Surajji. Om Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Saraswati Namaha. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to this session. I really have to thank Dr. Raju for encouraging me and motivating me to do this presentation. And thank you, Shilpaji and Sureshji. And so when Dr. Raju said I should do a topic in Gita, I said, what can I do? I'm just starting to learn Gita. However, since I've been in the medical profession, I chose lifespan. Of course, the motivation was Swami Bodhananda's beautiful book, Self-Unfoldment, which laid a foundation in the understanding of the lifespan, as well as how to lead life, as well as Peter Attia's Outlive book was also very educational in our contemporary medicine. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what lifespan is. So lifespan is, if we have to look at our views and ask ourselves what it is, immediately we jump to, are you able to see the screen fully?
Yeah, we can. Yes.
Okay. Lifespan, we'll say, oh, I like to live long life. That's our immediate answer. Or it's like a number from life to death. And then we say, just thinking a little bit more, is I like to live long. And then we say long and healthy. So we include the body, mind, and emotion. So here, if you start thinking a little bit more about our lifespan, which is already very enigmatic, because most of us do not remember our memories of how we were born. And of course, dead people do not talk, so we do not know what happens after the death. So we're looking at the finite space of lifespan. Let's see how we would like to live with a goal or purpose. Just to quickly see what is a goal. A goal is a short-term pursuit where I would like to buy a car or I would like to run 5K. But as soon as we cross the line, we are done and we'll relax. However, the purpose is a long-term journey, the classic example being mother's love towards her child. She'll always love the child no matter how old she is. And even if she has knee pains, she will take care of the child. So it's a long-term purpose. So clearly we're going to go through this in the further details, in the slides as we go through. Selfishness versus selflessness, how we live, and the big I versus little I. So we are now slowly shifting from the body, mind, and emotion towards how we live as a separate entity, or are we part of the universe? So one other important factor as we speak about lifespan is our past, or we go into future. We see that we clearly miss the present. That's our gift, missing the moment at every moment. If you see, the unit of lifespan is really the moment. Each moment makes our lives. So the famous quote of live in the moment is so appropriate, and we'll see more about it. Last but not the least, and the most important thing is our mind. Most of the time, or almost all the time, mind is in pieces, going all over the place. We love to keep mind in one piece, or we call it as mind at peace. Even when we had the small moments when our mind was calm, we can see the happiness and bliss through that moment. So Swami Bodhananda said, people define God in so many ways, Christ, Allah, and so on and so forth. But one thing we all know is happiness. And happiness is God. That is what we all strive for, whether we believe in God or not. That's what we strive for. And we'll see this more in the next few slides. So, really and truly, when we are unconditionally happiness, that gives us the inner health and external health as well. Now, going back to the number game, we would like to live long. In early 1900s, around that time, people life expectancy was about 40 to 50 years. And now it's very common to see people live into 70s and 80s, or even 90s is not very uncommon. So let's take a couple of examples. Looking at this slide, before I take the examples, on the x-axis, you can see the lifespan. On the y-axis, you'll see the health span. So sorry, uh, how do I go back?
You can use the back arrow, Mallik.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So on the x-axis, you see the lifespan, and on the y-axis is the health span. So let's take, if somebody lives 80 or 90 years of age, you can see, let's say 90 or 100 years. But the health span, we would love to see the health span go all the way up to the end of life. So that will become like a rectangle. Now let's take a person who lived around 1900s, Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda lived maybe about 40 years. He passed away or went into samadhi just before age 40. All our definitions have gone down with this one example. Swami Vivekananda lived a very short life of 40 years, but his achievement and his health span, how healthy he was, how joyful it goes beyond 100%. But let's take somebody, just a regular human being, he lives 40 years, but now moving forward in to the present time, we see 70s and 80s. So the second example is my aunt. She was very energetic and she was ready to host family and friends, always smiling, an excellent cook. Suddenly, at the age of 55, she gets a stroke. She cannot talk, she cannot move the right hand, she was in the wheelchair. And believe it or not, fortunately or unfortunately, she lived until 80 years of age. So she lived 25 years more, and you can see that curve drop from the age 55 and she went on to 80. So that triangle there is the quality of life is gone. So you can see the quality is very essential, and we have to be careful in our midlife. So as we can see, the chronic problems which are setting in as we live longer are heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and dementia. So we are clearly dealing with two different kinds of medicine here. Medicine 2.0, that's where we just deal with the problems. That's a trade, very traditional. Somebody has hypertension, we give medicine. Somebody has diabetes, we give medicine. But medicine 3.0 is prevention. A person can be 20 years old, but he leads a very healthy life. and he does not wait until he gets problems. Or if he has any small problem like knee pain or back pain, we should take care of it quickly. Otherwise, if we slow down, we're going to lose the muscle and suddenly we start falling around 60 or 70 years of age. We wonder why we are falling. And if you look back, we have been slowing down, we've been losing muscle, we lost our stability, and now we fall. So, thus, the quality of life is decreased. So, the problems when we face, we have to think about whether are we aging or is it a disease process. We should take it more likely to as a disease and treat the or take care of the problem quickly. Otherwise, it's going to lead to a disease. So we should not complain or just say disease from the age. Of course, the mental problems are constant regardless of the age. We should take care. In the midlife, as I said, the youth and stamina starts to fade. This is where we have to take care of ourselves and come to the grips of it and get back to our energy levels. So prevention, we talked about the heart attack, cancer, dementia. We have many tools right now to be able to lead a healthy life and identify very early markers such as prediabetes or fatty liver. So the four pillars of health, we all know: diet, exercise, sleep, and stress reduction. Dr. Raju has went in great detail in the last few sessions about diet, so I would not ponder, but suffice to say a high fiber and sufficient protein, like 1 gram per kilo, so 1 gram of protein per kilogram, and more importantly, apart from the diet itself, there are so many apps we can use now to monitor our calories, like MyFitnessPal, which is free app, and Healthify comes on a cell phone. You can scan the food and it'll tell the nutrition. And last but not the least, the Freestyle Libre, which is a continuous glucose monitor, which will help somebody who is in pre-diabetes or diabetes. It will reflect how they are eating, what the lifestyle, and it shows how the glucose is fluctuating and they can change their life habits. Again, the most important thing we should uh, look for is the calories, pattern of eating. We should stop eating continuously. And last, intermittent fasting is something we should talk to your doctor, and if it's okay, it's a good tool to use. The exercise is a single most uh, aspect which is so useful. People say, even if you miss eating a meal, please don't miss the exercise. Quickly, there are 2 or 3 kinds of exercise: cardio, zone 2 and VO2 max. You may be um, reading this. And zone 2 is where your heart rate does not cross 70%. And the VO2 max is a high intensity exercise you do about 2 times a week. Strength training is extremely important once we cross age 50 because we lose muscle and we have to at least maintain our muscle. Otherwise, we start losing muscle and then we start falling, and that's a downward spiral. So we have to also practice balancing and prevent falls after age 50. So clearly, the exercise is the best longevity drug. It improves all the 3 faculties. Sleep. Sleep is, we all know that sleep is very essential, maybe approximately 8 hours a day. And please talk to your doctor if you think you have sleep apnea where you are very sleepy in the daytime. So clearly, I've been seeing in the last few slides that we have to move from medicine 3.0 of just treating the disease to preventive care. So this is about fatty liver, very common problem, especially in Indians. If the doctors say you have fatty liver, please take care because there's essentially fat in the liver, which can cause liver disease. This also means there's more fat in your pancreas, leading to diabetes. And also it is a warning that this person is at a higher risk of cancer and of course diabetes and hypertension and heart disease. So fatty liver, the beauty is it's a reversible disease and you can reverse it. So please do not neglect it. We talked about the calories And we talked about fatty liver. This is a reversible problem, so we should take care of it. And lastly, the sleep is extremely important. It improves our memory, cognitive, physical, and emotional, as well as it re-energizes us. So this is a very amazing statistic. You can see in the last 20 years, there's been an increase of 50% who reach 100 years of age. So you can see as we move forward, there are more and more people reaching 100 years. So we have to be careful when we reach 80 or 90, we should not look back and say, oh, gee, I should have taken care of myself in the past. So we should be in a preventive mode. So moving along, there are many tools we can prevent heart attack or hypertension by doing the blood tests like cholesterol testing or more recently ApoB or even CT angiogram or CT calcium score. So the cancer screening is extremely critical and very time sensitive. There are only a few cancers we can screen: colon, breast, prostate, cervical, and skin and lung cancer. The memory, we'll see more about it, but most important is exercise. We don't know how it improves the memory, but it's very important. And you can see somebody when they shake hands, if the grip is not good, that is a red flag or the warning sign that that person is at higher risk of memory problems. Simple foods like olive oil is good, and sleep. Of course, stress reduction we'll see in more in the next few slides. And amazingly, flossing is critically important. I'll move on to next slide. So now we're shifting the gears from the modern to Vedantic based lifestyle. Amazing, big difference. The modern lifestyle, it's a mindless routine. His planning is day to day. And Vedantic based lifestyle is mindful, moment to moment. We saw that life is made of moments, just one moment at a time. 8:30 or 9:30 in all of life is gone. So we have to use our moment with total concentration. So the Vedanta and health, the health is defined as the self-abidance. We have to be aware of who we are, and the mind and body should be in balance and they should be in sync. A pure mind and a selfless service. And this is resulting in an integrated and interactive and creative living. So when we talk about health, it's just not our own individual or selfish health, but it's an integrated and interactive and creative living. So when we interact and be creative with the world around us, we are part of the world that generates a creative living. So clearly, health is not just physical well-being. In fact, the World Health Organization defines health as physical, mental, and social well-being, and not just the lack of disease. So you can see clearly when we are 20s and 30s, or even when we have no problems, we have to be taking care of ourselves. Moving along the body, mind, and spirit. The body, mind, and spirit are interdependent dimensions. So we cannot separate the body and mind and just say, I don't care about the spirit. We'll see more. Body is the vehicle of the mind. So we have to take care of the body. And the mind is the vehicle of the spirit. The mind has to be calm and pure. A healthy body manifests the power of the mind. The healthy body manifests the power of the mind. The balanced body, or the balanced mind rather, invokes the splendor of the spirit, and we'll see how. It's a very famous quote called Arogyam Mahabhagyam. So the Shariram, the body, the first and foremost. And for sure, when we take care of this, we can accomplish any project. So to taking care of the project, we need a healthy body. So this is how we can, in a simplified fashion, we can classify in Vedantic or healthy living. Ayurveda deals with the body, yoga deals with the mind, and Vedanta deals with the spiritual dimension. Hence, the body comes first. So, Ayurveda, yoga is the second, karma yoga. We read repeatedly in Gita that we have to make ourselves an instrument. So we are not the doer, but we are the instrument, and we offer whatever we do to Ishvara. And then if you have to offer, or if you deal with Ishvara or Parvati, or somebody comes in into the room, and if you look at him as Vishnu, or the lady comes in, and if you look at her as Lakshmi, you cannot do anything less than your best. They are the VIPs. And whatever we do, we offer them. We cannot do anything wrong, but we only give 100%. And so the yoga or karma yoga, making ourselves a tool, is the second step. When we continue to do this, Vedanta is the final step where we have fulsome growth, and we'll see. So, in other words, it's a holistic approach. Physical health we have seen, diet, exercise, and work balance. Mental health is value-based life. We have to inculcate the values, assimilate it, and then we have to practice it. So that's what we talked about, the karma yoga, the positive attitude and friendly attitude, to the point of having no enemies. We are all equal. We are all one. Spiritual health is fundamental, and this is how to have an unshakable faith in goodness. So we'll next go to the spiritual abundance and see how this is so important for us. So living in touch with the spiritual source. This is amazing. One day, Swami Bodhananda Garu he was there in my home, and we were talking about this, and he said, once we unplug the laptop or the desktop, it's not plugged in, and you call your IT guy, so this my self laptop is not working, he'll come and say it's not plugged in. So if you're not plugged into the society or into your spirituality, it's like we are body, mind, intellect is almost like a trash. The prana or the life source is, we have to realize it's a divinity, and we have to be in touch with the our surroundings because we are part of it. So we'll see more of this. Equanimity has to be there between mind and physical fitness. And clearly, this kind of health is sustainable because when we do a regular habit like meditation, prayer, and selfless work, which is off the mat. And so we are creating a calm mind first thing in the morning, and then our attitude is towards a selfless work. And whatever work we do, we offer to God. We cannot do, we cannot do anything wrong. So we've been trying to skirt around this one concept of oneness. And this is a great identity shift. So let me start by giving an example. If a smoker is there and he's trying to quit smoking, we tell him, you need to please quit smoking. And he says, Doc, I've been trying to quit smoking. His wife knows, his friends know, everybody knows he's a smoker. Then you tell him, I think this is about time. Get up in the morning and say, I am a non smoker. And keep repeating it 3 times every single day. About a few days later, he'll start thinking, what does a non smoker do? He doesn't smoke, right? And similarly, then he will, whenever he holds it, hey, I'm a non smoker, he doesn't smoke. So, similarly, when you get up in the morning and say, I am happy and I'm healthy, just say it 3 times. So, what does a happy person do? He happily works everything. He doesn't work for happiness, he happily works because he's a happy man. So I like to walk, I like to run. I walk and run happily. Nobody is giving me a medal. And a cook, he loves to cook. He cooks because not that anybody gives a medal. So we work happily work. And we are one and the same. We are no different. We are particle of the universe. We are connected, and you can see in Pragnanam Brahma, we are the life source is the same in us as the same in ant or a flower. It's exactly the same. So if you believe that Pragnanam Brahma from Mahavakya and we are one, there's a shift in identity. Okay, so we'll see that in next slide. So this faith is very important in the spiritual nature of the person. He sees oneself as basically healthy. Health is not acquired from outside, but it's invoked from inside. So if you say that I'm healthy, I'm happy, this is a default state. If it's even if you don't believe in it, if you say it still gives a molecular level of change. It's definitely better than saying I am sick, I am depressed, I'm sad. It doesn't give any, it's negativity. We all know negativity doesn't give any happiness, right? We all strive for happiness.
यो मां पश्यति सर्वत्र सर्वं च मयि पश्यति तस्याहं न प्रणश्यामि स च मे न प्रणश्यति.
So, for one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. I love this because this is like divinity. Divinity, you see all around you, 360 degrees, 24 by 7, you see divinity. This is not boring, or this is not some kind of a philosophy which we talk about, but this is a beautiful life. If you think about it, if somebody has only one day to live, that person appreciates the bird which is flying and looks outside and say, wow, I have really never appreciated it. He loves the nature and he wish he can live longer. So seeing divinity 24, 24 hours a day, 365 degrees, all the time in everything gives that love and compassion. This is automatic. You cannot have any selfishness. You and the other person is the same. You, the other person is as equal to your family member or even more.
योगयुक्तो विशुद्धात्मा विजितात्मा जितेन्द्रियः सर्वभूतात्मभूतात्मा कुर्वन्नपि न लिप्यते.
One more beautiful verse. When we see ourselves from inside, so we are here purifying our senses, how we see everything equal, and in our mind is pure because it is not selfish desires. We are selfless. We want our whole family, our whole team, our whole community, everybody should do well. So our mind is not entangled with desires which are selfish. So mind is more involving everyone. And then our intellect automatically gets pure. So once we have pure, all our actions are really selfless and they're never entangled in any kind of maliciousness. And if we achieve moksha, moksha is just a delusion that we are by ourselves. I'm a single person. So moksha is nothing. I feel that you gain something in to go to heaven. Moksha is just taking out the delusion, mohakshaya. So now we slowly see that the Brahman is Satchit Ananda. So one who realizes this concept and he is blissful in the midst of ever-changing stimulus and response flow. So things are changing around him, but if you know who you are and you see everybody equal and you love everyone and compassion, which is automatic because both of you, the person in front of you, are the same. So it's very blissful and you're happy because you're selfless, you're not selfish. So the happy person is really a healthy person. So if you just pause for a second and see how our life unfolds in day to day, the first thing that comes is a thought. And then if you don't pause at the thought, it becomes word and deed. We call Trikarana Suddhi. But made it more simple, let's say if you have a negative thought, if you don't stop, we'll go through a rabbit hole. Oh, wow, I cannot drive on the street. If I drive, there'll be an accident. I cannot go. And it on and on and on. So we become more anxious and we become very down because we cannot go and drive. So we have to stop at the thought and just pause. Do not fight with the thought, but just pause. And then we'll be aware. In other words, don't react immediately and just reflect to respond. So when we realize that the other person and you, or you are really Brahman and your oneness, if you see the oneness, that is very blissful. So Brahman is blissful. That awareness in the moment is a criticalness. Once we are aware, then that's a secret of happiness because we are not entangled in the past and we are not brooding and trying to plan. We're not brooding in the past or we're not daydreaming in the future. We live in the moment. So awareness of thoughts and the action deepens the self-experience, which is so fruitful, and that awakens the internal health. Remember, if you are stressful, our blood pressure goes up, our heart rate goes up. It's like a fight and flight response. And on top of that, nobody likes to be sad or depressed or sorrowful. We all want a happiness, right? So negativity doesn't work. So the health deteriorates when we are negative. So yoga is samatvam. The body exercises, balanced breathing, concentration techniques. These are all improving our physical and mental health. The concentration will give us the inside luminous self. We get calm and we get very creative because it is sukham. Sukham is spaciousness. When we are spacious, we can think openly. Where dukkham is a small, we are just a single, oh, I am lonely, I am alone. So these are not good things. So moving forward, we have great books like Ashtanga Yoga, which will help us to go through our day to day. And I'm sure you have all read it. So we can use the yoga through the Ashtanga Yoga and practice it. So restrained mind is self-aware, blissful, loving, and healthy. So like I said, we should practice this in do not react, but respond. So once we stay like that calm, we can be self-aware, and that's that leads to automatic blissful and loving nature.
Yuktahara viharasya युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः.
So this is talking about those who are disciplined in eating, recreation, and balanced life, along with the sleep. We can mitigate all the sorrows. So one who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleep, and recreation can mitigate all the material problems by practicing the yoga. So I'm going to skip the sattvic food since we already talked about and Dr. Raji has went in great.
आयुस्सत्त्वबलारोग्य सुखप्रीतिविवर्धनाः रस्या स्निग्धा स्थिरा हृद्या आहारा सात्विकप्रियाः.
So a simple statement for this. Of course, the food sometimes we may not like it initially, or it may not be so, we cannot appreciate it. It's like a good medicine. It may be a good food like a salad, but in a long run, it's very healthy as opposed to very spicy or very stale food like a pizza which has been reheated. It may be good at this time, but on long run, it's not good.
Good.
So I'm going to skip the food since Dr. Raja has covered. And this is the slide where the sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic foods. Again, you can just see the sattvic foods are simple foods like grains, and beans and legumes, fresh vegetables, and moderate amount of spices. I would be a little bit careful about the ghee or milk in case if you have any heart problems or diabetes, we have to be in moderation. So we shift gears and come back to the oneness, which is the infinite energy. So Satchit Ananda and God is just oneness and infinite energy. We have the potential to grab it when we realize this concept of oneness. Otherwise, we feel, oh, I am a person. I'm just one human being. Just trying to be belittle ourselves. So we can get all this along with automatic happiness as a byproduct. So you can see in this interesting slide. So most of us in these days, we live in a very luxurious way. We have a house, we have a vehicle, we have enough money, we have a choice of what to eat, what to wear. So we have so many choices, but we still are unhappy. So Swami Bodhananda nicely said, we are comfortably unhappy. Why? We feel incomplete. We always, oh, if I get this, I'll be happy. If I marry, I'll happy. If I have kids, I'll be happy. So it's a constantly we strive for looking for something else. So this is just staying incomplete constantly, and we feel that we are comfortably unhappy.
ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्म हविः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्म कर्म समाधिना.
This is one of my most favorite slides. So we'll just take a pause and see what's happening in the Yagnam. Yagnam, first of all, is done most of the times we have a desire or we want to get something. That's why we do the Yagnam. But the true Yagnam in our real life is slightly different. Here you see the fire, that's Ishvara. For centuries together, Ishvara, the fire, is taken as a god himself. And then the offering there is the food. The food is coming from the five elements. That is also Ishvara. Annam is Ishvara. And the person who is doing Yagnam is also is Brahman. So all three are you can see the oneness across. And then in real life, whatever we do, we are offering to God. So we can see that yajna bhavana, we offer the God whatever we do. And then whatever prasadam or whatever the results we take, we accept it very happily and very blissfully as prasadam. We take prasadam. God, remember, God gives us for our needs and not for our greed. So He will take care of us, but we should be contented. So this is a nice phrase again from Swami Bodhananda. He said, work is worship. So we'll see how it is true. What can we offer God? If you think about it, everything around us is God made, whether it is a flower, milk, or leaf, everything is God made. What can we offer? The only one thing we can offer to God is our work. That is the only thing we can offer. There's nothing else. So offer to God all our work, and that's Ishvara. It can be made simple. If you can make God our boss, then you can only give the best. Like I said, if there's a challenging situation, if there's a man comes through the door, think he is Vishnu. Or if the lady comes through the door, think it's Parvati or your favorite Durga Ma. You can only offer the best. And you have to just do the best.
अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो माम् ये जना पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्.
There are those who always think of me and engage in exclusive devotion to me. And sorry. and whose minds are always absorbed in me. I provide what they lack. I provide what they lack and preserve what they already possess.
Ananya.
So, in other words, don't worry, be happy. So, God, once you have faith in God, what you offer everything to God with that faith, He will protect us. He will give for our needs and not for greed. So don't worry, be happy. Just happily live in the moment and do the best. So here you can see
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधः.
just to summarize, the Bhoga Sukha, when we start enjoying our pleasures, the Bhogi, that's a Bhogi, he becomes Rogi. If you keep eating the sweets excessively, of course, you'll have problem with the sugar or diabetes. So, but if you follow with equanimity and balance and with the right attitude, that is Yogi. So now we shift from comfortably unhappy to something continuous happiness. We all strive for this. What everyone wants from life is continuous and genuine happiness. So, like I said before, everybody has a very different definition of God. He might say Krishna, or he might say Allah, or uh, or other words. But all the concepts are a little bit more mysterious or mystic. But one thing we all know is happiness. So when we are in that calm mind and we do selfless work, and when that happiness comes, that bliss, that is God. God is happiness. Sat Chit Ananda. So Anandoham, I am a happy person. So that is what we want to get up in the morning and say, I am a happy person. That's our default state, just like a little child. He's always happy. The child cries only when he or she needs some food or maybe the diaper is wet. So Anandoham is a great thing which we can at least say rather than saying I'm a depressed, I'm a sad person. So Anandoham, I'm a happy person. Anando Brahmeti Vaijnath, Brahman is happiness. So in this,
Yontas sukhontara tathantarjyotirev yah स योगी ब्रह्म निर्वाणम् ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति.
so it's a nice one just to go over it briefly. This is unconditional happiness. So Anta Sukha, that's Mr. Happy. Anta Armaha, relaxed, Mr. Cool. Antar Jyotihi, internally alert, Mr. Sharp. So Yoga Sukha is different from Bhoga. So here Yoga Sukha has gained this by freeing from material objects and desires. This is not so much that you just get away from it, but you get whatever objects you share with everybody around you. Remember, God's provide for your needs, but not for your greed. Sannyasa is renouncing search for happiness, but it's not such a very difficult job. You just happily do things. That is what it is. You're already happy. You happily do things. You happily mix with everyone because everybody is divine. You're dealing with divinity around you, and world is beautiful. Holiness, happiness is wholesome. Lastly, we talk about moksha a lot, but moksha is not something I feel you go to heaven or you get this after death or next life. It's just ending of delusion. I am the body and we live by I am different from everybody else, and that creates a problem. So just removing that delusion is moksha. So prepare to live happily. So we have talked about antakarna shuddhi, and we also talked about respond but not react. Give a pause. And we talked about the yoga. and yamas and niyamas. And this is a beautiful quote from Paramahamsa Yogananda. Meenakshi Garu shared this, and an unlimited source of protection for man lies in his strong thought that as a child of God, he cannot be affected by disease. So the body cannot be healed by spiritual means if the mental power and faith are weak. Permanent healing comes through the boundless power of the mind and through God's grace. So the healing comes from inside out, not from some external source. So we come to the closing points and saying that Shivoham, just like Anandoham, Shivoham is a great word. Aham Shiva, I am Shiva. So the words have got tremendous power. Shabda Pramanam. So this is a shift in identity. I am a non-smoker. We have seen in the past, when the smoker says I'm a non-smoker, he is likely to quit. So when we say Shivoham or I am Shiva, it generates that infinite consciousness. I am infinite bliss. You can think of higher levels of yourself and you experience the energy and enthusiasm of Shiva. So chanting Shivoham, you undergo a molecular change. This has been shown even in the scientific scenario that when somebody is happy and peaceful, they live longer because their mitochondria will stay healthier. So that's another topic, but it has been shown even in biologically and scientifically that it is changes from internally. So your whole energy starts organizing around this world once you're positivity. Positivity attracts people. So bring spontaneous smile, anandoham, I'm a happy person. So now we have to revisit our title. Lifespan is revisited. I want to live long, healthy life. That I is a small I or little I. Now, if we take away, and we have noticed that the oneness principle, Tattvamasi, the title has to be changed now from lifespan to infinity. So we live in the moment. We don't worry about how long we live. We live in the moment and we give our best. That is all life is about. Don't worry about how long we live and just live in the moment and give your best. So spirituality is amazing. We have seen work is worship. Work is the only thing we can do and we can offer to God. That's the only thing in our hands. So oneness, the love and compassion is automatic and happily we live and life is beautiful and divine. So these are the tips I've already given. One is Shivoham, enjoy the oneness, the awareness each moment, and the be selfless in all our work and offer it to God. We also have to take it. If somebody offers a humble offering, don't say, oh, I have it. Please take it because it belittles the other person. Don't insult him and stay plugged in. So again, this is yajna style. We do our best, and whatever we get the fruits, we accept it with blissful nature as prasadam. So this gives spontaneous smile, light body, and peaceful sleep and happy life. This is the acid test. So these are the signs of good health. If you have to check out if I'm doing well or not, spontaneous smile. If you're positive, you're happily working, selfless, body feels light, you have no headache, the toe is not hurting you, energetic and creative. So when we are calm, we are really creative, well balanced, we respond, non-judgmental, and finally, the proof in the pudding is good sleep and stress-free life. So these are my resources. The Outlive by Peter Attia for all our physical nature, and Atomic Habits is how to develop our habits. And beautiful book is Self-Unfoldment. If you have a chance, please read it. It's made very simple. And of course, the Yoga Sutras and Bhagavad Gita. Thank you everyone. Let's just do it. Thank you.
Thanks, and a wonderful talk. It included everything that we need to have in our life, not just the money, eat well and sleep well. There's a lot more than to our good health. Thank you.
Thank you, Venkatragar.
Thank you, Malik ji. It was a wonderful session. Many of these things, even though we might have learned it through the shlokas, putting it in context and giving it to us as a small dose was really helpful. I think this is going to guide us a long way at how we see our lifespan, not just how long we live, but the kind of and quality of the life we live, and what are some of the tips to improve the quality. What are some of the things, some of the tools that we have in our toolkit that we need to use. Thank you for such a wonderful, enlightening session, Dr. G. We really appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Shilpa ji, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. So now, with your permission, I'm going to stop the recording, but we will open up for any questions that we might have.
And
Go ahead, Sureshji.
yeah, Malli, there was a